Greetings and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about reviewing for our test on matrices, linear programming, solving systems, all of that good stuff. And here's question 51. It's on page 122 of our text. It says, Justin owns a truck and a motorcycle. He can buy up to 28 gallons of gasoline for both vehicles. All right. His truck gets 22 miles per gallon and holds 25 gallons of gasoline. His motorcycle gets 42 miles per gallon and holds up to 6 gallons of gasoline. So here's the question. How many gallons of gasoline does he put into each vehicle if he wants to travel the most miles? So my variables, X would be number of gallons in truck, right? Or to the truck. And Y is the number of gallons to the motorcycle, right? So for our equations, or inequalities in this case, we will have, let's see, he can buy up to 28 gallons of gasoline for both vehicles. So X plus Y is less than or equal to 28, right? So you can't purchase more than that. His truck gets, now let's see, he wants the most miles possible. So these MPGs, that's actually going to be our profit equation that we're maximizing, or whatever like that. We'll call it our MPG equation. Maybe I'll even write that over here. So MPG would be an equation of X and Y, and I would get 22X plus 42Y. Right, and that's what I want to maximize. I want the most miles per gallon. Wait a minute. Nope. Wait. He wants to travel the most miles. Nope, I might still be cool with that. Let's see what we get. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, this wouldn't technically be miles per gallon. This would just be miles. That's why I was confused. Bam. Because I'm taking the miles per gallon and multiplying by the number of gallons, eliminating the per gallon portion of that. There we go. My apologies. Let's see. And what else do I know? His truck holds up to 25 gallons, so X is less than or equal to 25. Yeah. And motorcycle, Y is less than or equal to 6. And I imagine I also can't have negative gallons for either of those, right? So that's kind of what we're looking at for starters. All right, so let's see what we get. So this X plus Y is less than or equal to 28. The first thing I would do is rewrite that as Y is less than or equal to negative X plus 28. Put it in slope-intercept form is what I would do. Let's see, graph, grid form, square grid. I need to go up to 28. 30 will be fine. So I'm just opening up my little grid. Let's see, and I'll graph. Oh, not absolute value. Negative X plus 28. So there's 1. I'll have X is less than or equal to 25. That one's actually a pain for me to do. Can I plot a point? Let's see. Graph, plot points. And I'll plot the point 0. Nope. I want to plot 25, comma 0. Nope. There we go. There we go. And let's see. This one gave me trouble one of those days. If I select this and hit construct, there we go. Perpendicular. There's that one. And that one would be shaded less than. Then I've got Y compared to 6 right there. And then I also have this one and this one, the horizontal X and Y axes, right, being constraints as well for us. So let me plot some other points. These are all less than, so it's shaded underneath those. And let me draw the interior. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, is this going to be cool? Nope, I had a feeling it didn't like that. Because I selected the points in an unusual order, so I have to select them kind of in the arrangement of the shape there. Let's see. That is an ugly color, but that's okay. So let's highlight this. Bam. So let's see. What was x equal to? Or what did x's represent in our problem? Yeah, truck gallons, right? And what was y? Moto gal, right? So let's label our points here. So this one will be point A. Here's B, C, D, and E. And let's see. So A appears to be the point 0, 6. All right. B appears to be the point. Well, it looks like I can read that off the graph pretty confidently, but I know that the y coordinate is 6, and let's see, B is also made up of my diagonal line here. So what I could do is plug in 6 for y and solve for x, even up here. So if I plug in 6 here, x is equal to 22 if I subtract that from both sides, right? C is, let's see, the x coordinate is 25, and that's made up of the same diagonal line. So if I plug in 25 for x and subtract it from both sides, I get y equals 3. D is 25, 0, and E is 0, 0. Right? So let's plug these into our equation. So what was the MPGs? It was 22, 42. So this is 22 times 0 plus 42 times 6. I imagine the solution is going to be the one where you put as many gallons into the motorcycle and then the rest into the truck. So I'm not sure if this fellow is like driving his truck as far as he can and then has the motorcycle in the back and then like uses it as an escape pod when he runs out of fuel. I think that's maybe what he's doing. And then he just like abandons his truck in the desert or something. Let's see, so 42 times 6 is 252 miles. So that actually is how far the motorcycle can go on a full tank. And then let's see, 252 plus 22 times 22. This one would be 736 miles. 22 times 25 plus 42 times 3 is 676. 22 times 25, this is 550, so this actually represents how far your truck can go on a full tank of gas, right? And this one would be 0. So the optimal is he can travel 736 miles using 22 gallons of gas in the truck, right? So put 22 gallons in truck and 6 in the motorcycle. To travel 736 miles. Back in the day, I still do own a moped, but it doesn't run. And it would actually probably get around 50 miles to the gallon. But the funny thing was, it could only hold, its tank was 0.78 gallons. So it couldn't even fit a full gallon in the tank. And not only that, you actually also had to mix in the fuel 2-cycle engine oil. Apparently something to do with the viscosity or something like that. Cause the engine to seize if you don't do that, which is what my brother forgot to do and why it doesn't run these days. But anyways, he did try to fix it and everything, which still doesn't work. It's sad. But that's okay. So anyways, there's a problem. Best of luck on your test, everybody. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.